We are very happy to tell you that our next guest is one of the most decorated American gymnasts of all time. Did you hear that? All time. Aly Raisman led Team USA to victory in the 2012 and 2016 Olympic Games. She won 6 medals, including 3 golds. I know, wow is right, Tony. She's also a powerful advocate for sexual abuse survivors. Raisman, as you may recall, testified against former Team USA Dr. Larry Nassar and called on Congress to create institutional change within gymnastics and law enforcement. Yes, she did that. Now she's releasing her first children's book with a message for children. It's called, I like this title, From My Head to My Toes. This book teaches young readers to listen to and trust their bodies. It also teaches them about consent in a very positive way. We're very happy that Aly Raisman has joined us in what we call the living room. Hello, Aly Raisman.
Hi. Thank you for being here.
You know, as I was reading this book, number one, bravo, well done. The illustrations are beautiful, but what I like is the copy that you put in the book, because it seems to me you wrote the book for what you wish somebody would have told you when you were a little kid. True?
Yeah,
What
definitely.
is that?
Yeah, I think that when I was younger, I felt like there wasn't a ton of conversation around trusting my gut, trusting my voice, and I wish that I trusted my gut when I was younger, and it's something I actually still work in therapy weekly. And then
What
also,
were you told? We were all taught about what?
stranger danger.
Stranger danger,
And
yeah.
that's still very important, but that happens about 10% of the time. And 90% of the time abuse occurs, it's actually with a trusted adult. And about 30% of the time, it's actually in the family.
Wow.
So I think abuse is so much more common than people believe. And this book isn't just about abuse. It's also just teaching kids, you know, if you feel cold, it's okay to ask to be warmer. It's okay to ask for help. If you're confused, there's no such thing as a bad question. So just normalizing those conversations.
But sometimes people are well-meaning. They'll touch you on the arm or touch you on the leg to say, how are you? And you say, you want to empower children to say, it's my body, please don't. And to be able to say no.
Yeah, and I think
If they're uncomfortable, yeah.
absolutely. And I think even at my age, I'm almost 30, and it's still hard for me sometimes to say I'm not comfortable with something. And I really want to have this book to help create dialogue between adults and children, to be able to feel comfortable identifying what they need, because I think that's also really hard, is to be able to say, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I need help for. And then when the child does have the confidence to speak up, the adult knows they have the tools, they're educated enough to listen to them and to take the proper action, whatever they need.
Isn't it amazing to hear her talk about being almost 30 when you've got 6 gold medals and 2012 Olympics were a long time ago? It's just incredible. Your career as a gymnast was so impressive. Now off the mat, though, you've been doing so much. You hope to be remembered as someone who made the sport safer. It made all sports safer. Have you seen improvement on that front?
You know, I feel very hopeful by the people who come up to me, whether I'm at the grocery store or the airport, and how many people share their stories with me. I have people come up to me and say, you're the only person I've ever told I was abused 70 years ago. I have had male CEOs come up to me and pull me aside and say, I just want to tell you I'm a survivor of child sexual abuse. And so I think that the normalizing of conversations really gives me hope. And then, you know, I also was just at the Barbara Sinatra Children's Center, and they do all types of different therapy. And I actually got to read my book to some of the kids, and to see these kids, like, they were all raising their hand to come up and read the book, and to see, you know, a lot of these kids, they've been abused, or their families have been abused. So it's devastating to see that, but it gives me hope to see how many organizations out there are fighting every single day to save these people's lives. So I do feel hope, but I know that we have a long way to go as well.
One of the things I love in the book is there's an addendum for adults, and I learned something every time I went through the book, because there's one moment where you describe, for children, secret is not the word you should use. Surprise. People like surprises. Secrets are something that they should be wary of. What advice in this book would you have liked to have had when you were growing up?
Yeah, I think it's so interesting, because I think about this so much. In gymnastics, you're taught from a very young age. I don't want to generalize, at least my experience is, you do a cartwheel, for example, and I was taught to immediately look to my coach for approval. And also because it's a subjective sport, if I did a floor routine and I thought that was my best floor routine, but the judge didn't give me a good score, I sort of thought, okay, well, maybe what I'm thinking is wrong, because what my coaches think, or the selection committee, or the judges think is right. And so I wish that there was more conversation around what you feel is real. If you're confused about something, if you want to ask questions, it's okay. It's a safe place. So I think that's really important. And I also think the secrets versus surprises is really important, because a surprise, obviously, someone's going to find out. And so I think that's a really, really important distinction.
I know we're hitting the commercial wall, but I also think you said it's important to read the book out loud, and it's important to have the conversation more than once. Congratulations to you, Aly Raisman. Nice job. From My Head to My Toes goes on sale wherever you like to buy your books tomorrow.